Ever since we've started this series, Ajax Amsterdam have been the most requested team to release their entire youth academy for. I know it's quite harsh, it's brutal, but it's the life we chose. You guys seem to enjoy this series as we let some of the best youth talent at some of the biggest clubs in the world just free out into the wild, become free agents. As Ajax's board expectations for youth development is critical, we're going to have a ton of supply in terms of talents that are automated in the youth academy and their real life talents as well we can release. This is definitely going to be a fun one and could go down in the history books. The Dutch outfit have a rich history when it comes to producing youth talents. There have been so many players that have come out of this academy that have turned into world beaters over the years, not just recently, but going back 50, 40 years. They've produced some iconic players when it comes to the likes of Johan Cruyff, Frank Rijkaard, Dennis Bergkamp, Frank and Ronald de Boer, Clarence Seedorf, Patrick Kluivert, Rafael van der Vaart, Wesley Schneider, the list goes on. I could be here for hours. However, today Sir BCHD is back with a ruthless plan. We're going to be releasing their present day and current world superstars and current youth academy stars that are destined for greatness in the future. We're going to follow their careers just like usual and see where they end up after they've been put into the free agency. Not just with their real life squad, but with the homegrown talent and of course the youth prospects right here in the youth academy. Let's get stuck into the players who were basically terminating their contracts, the real life stars. I've placed them all on the transfer list just so it's easier to follow along. We'll start off with Karel Ayeting at 22 years of age. He's on the borderline of not becoming a wonder kid anymore, but he's still right there, so I've decided to include him in this one. We've got Kik Pieri, the 19-year-old centre-back who's trying to find his way into the starting 11. Noah Lang, who he had to call back from his loan spell at Club Bruges. A 21-year-old attacking winger who can play on either side and has got a really decent face scan. Pershers, who is next up. I'm pretty sure you've all heard about him in terms of defense when it comes to Ajax. They've pretty much got themselves the next Delit, the next Daily Blind right there as we move on to Jurgen Ekkelenkamp. That one's going to be a mouthful throughout this entire video, but the 20-year-old midfielder, he can play either as a number 10 or a box-to-box midfielder. This next prospect, he's an African, Mohamed Kudus from Ghana. I know he's not from Ajax's youth academy originally. They just purchased him last summer, but I've decided to throw him in this video just to make things a bit more fascinating, and of course he is under 20 years of age, so he should be growing well, just like Ryan Gravenbirch, the grave digger, as Sir Barth would call him. Another fellow Sir in the game, and we both recognise that this man is an absolute beast. Directly from Ajax's youth academy, a face scan as well, which is always a bonus. Trust me, this boy is going to be something special one day. Whether they can take their careers from greatness after the free agency, we'll have to find out. Lessina Traore, another one of these African wonder kids that Ajax seem to just find all of a sudden. The 19-year-old from Burkina Faso, one of the first strikers on this list actually. We've got Yurian Timber, and that goes for two of them. I think they're brothers. They should be related with the last name like Timber. If it goes down in this video, I'll definitely be yelling Timber, as we have a Brian Brobby, which is quite an interesting one. He's just been sold to RB Leipzig. Thankfully, EA haven't updated the rosters for the new transfer, so Brian Brobby is still on the books. Another youth star, not only just for Ajax, but on the international scene. I recognise this guy from his under-21s or under-19s debut for the Netherlands. Kenneth Taylor, I believe he represented the Dutch at the under-19 World Cup. Correct me if I'm mistaken. And last but certainly not least, it's the 17-year-old, one of the youngest on this list, Devian Rensch, or Rensch. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but he can play a right back and centre back. Unfortunately, he won't be taking his career any further at Ajax, as all these 13 superstars will be getting released. It's like an Ajax youth cleansing. They're not going to feel themselves without their wonder kids. Now, I've made the executive decision to shake things up when it comes to our automated youth stars. The fictional boys, including the homegrown talent, I'm only going to be releasing the players or accepting them to the first team that have an 80+ potential. So Daniel Arneyek has just made it in. Meanwhile, all these guys at the bottom, Tavella, Simonsen, Verdonk, and Al-Nubi, won't be making the cut. So first up to be promoted, it's the man that just makes the cut. 58 to 80 potential by the skin of his teeth. A similar build to Rensch, can also play at centre back. He's also a right back from Slovenia. 6'6" at 17 years of age, a man mountain, and we're promoting him to the senior team, and that goes the exact same for Nazar Ivanov, the 17-year-old Russian who is a left mid / right wing, pretty versatile, 62 overall, 68 to 92 potential, with a 4-star weak foot and a high defensive work rate. He'll temporarily be promoted to the senior team. If you thought this Ajax bunch had a lack of strikers, let Alex Prado prove you wrong. The brand new up-and-coming Argentine. It can also be deployed at centre forward, but the low work rates do let him down. The only upside though is that he has 77 to 94 potential, currently standing at a 53, and the lowest youth academy player will be calling up eventually, because we can't actually promote him yet because he's too young. It is Ruben Arce or Arch from Peru. Probably the least Peruvian name you'll ever see. However, however, 69 to 94 potential, 46 overall doesn't do him the best of favors, but 5-star skill moves, high attack and work rate, he's got something going for him. We're just gonna have to wait and find out when it comes to the Peruvian baller. However, we do have a brand new CDM slash centre back. This either could be Frankie de Jong or Matthias de Ligt reincarnated, Daniel de Leeuw. Man, these Dutch names are gonna be causing me so many problems throughout this video. However, the homegrown talent definitely will be promoted on first glance. Don't worry, Ruben, your time will come soon. And just like that, you know the drill. Thanks to the power of PC mods, we can have unlimited releasing for zero charge. We're tearing up these players' youth contracts left, right, and center. I gotta admit, it's not the best feeling, but the lottery of just watching these guys' careers unfold is definitely gonna be worth it in the long run. But hey, that's the fun of it. That's the thrill of it all. We can just sit back and relax and let the market do its job. And no, I'm sorry to all my Brazilians out there. We won't be releasing Anthony, otherwise this video is just gonna get too out of hand. I'm gonna be tracking so many careers, it's not gonna be funny. And he is actually definitely not out of their youth academy, so I'm only gonna let Kudus be that one minor exception. Here they all are in their free agent glory. Just when you thought they'd settle at Ajax, no, they've got to restart their careers all over again and find a job. Can the Ajax bunch go down as one of the most successful youth academies released so far in this series? Let's find out. Let me warn you, this has been one of the most successful starts. We've got players finding clubs coming out of the woodwork here in the free agent market. The first man to make a move, it's Julian Timber, the Dutch centre back at 19, has found a brand new club, and FC Cologne's given him a new chance. We've also got a striker on the move, Brian Brobby, who is now 18 years of age. He moved to the Bundesliga in real life for RB Leipzig, as Arminia Bielefeld will recruit his services for free for nothing. Kik Pieri is the first player to move to a secondary tier. We've got Havre AC down in League 2. What a stunning piece of business as they get the 20-year-old Dutchman on the books. And it's Newcastle United getting one of the picks of the bunch. Who said they needed the financial takeover? The Magpies have gotten themselves Ryan Gravenbirch on a free. He could be the future of the midfield over at St. James's Park in what could be a very exciting Premier League career. 2 in a row right there. We had Devian Rensch, the guy who I just don't know how to say his name. He has moved to the Bundesliga, FC Mainz. It's the first player to take a job offer from the Serie A. It's Lassine Traore. El Grifone Genoa have picked him up for free. Good news to see there. Hopefully he's going to be kicking in goals for fun for the Italians, as we have Perschers. I've already hyped up this guy saying he's the next elite, the next Daily Blind, and Stade Rennais were definitely listening, as we've had one wonder kid go to the second tier. Now Ligue 1 have finally gotten their purchase from Perschers. The free agent has found a club, as the Italians and French continue to be listening. Noah Lang has made the move to Torino. That's a truly fitting signing for La Granata, as it's another French move. Karel Etienne has found a brand new club. It is Stade Bestoy. The French and Italian outfits have acted fast, picking these guys up on a free. I can't believe what type of deals we've already been seeing only 2 months into this challenge. However, whilst we've highlighted the moves that have gone on, let's take a look at the players who haven't yet gotten that dream move. The likes of Mohamed Kudus, Kenneth Taylor still waiting. Get ready, this is going to be one hell of a ride. It's the end of the season and finally he has turned 16. It is Ruben Arce, the Peruvian archer. He's ready to be released, gone from a 46 to a 49 overall in one season, and you know his destiny. He's going on the free agents. Just like that, he's out in the wild. A brand new addition to our hit list, as we're going to take an end of season update. And we have some big news to report on. We have the first fictional youth academy player, Nazar Ivanov. What a name. The Russian has found a brand new home on the south of France over at Monaco, as Monaco have secured his services for free. The 18-year-old will be getting a move there, and it's a club like Ajax that focus on their youth talent, so it'll be very fascinating to see how his career develops from there. It's good to see that 2 brothers are fulfilling their legacy, as both Timber brothers have secured a move, and this time it is Odense Bold Club who have gone after the free transfer of Quinton Timber. I've actually got no idea who this club are, where they are. According to my research, they are a Danish club. Okay, spicing things up, we've got the first wonder kid to move to Denmark. And one last transfer update, it's major news. One of the big boys, the career mode favourite, Mohamed Kudus, he will be playing his football over in Spain for Real Valladolid. And if you've watched the Arsenal version of this, no spoilers, but you'll know that the Spanish clubs love a release clause, and he's already got an £83.9 million release clause slapped in his contract already. Seems like not only the Spaniards, but the Germans are on the release clause train as well, giving Rensch a £12.1 million price tag. Now, I've had a quick snoop around all the clubs, and just to check up on the Youth Academy Wonder Kids behind the scenes, I'm only going to show you the highlight packages for now, and the first player of note is Noah Lang at Torino. I know you probably weren't expecting this, but the Dutchman here in Turin has made an impact. It's nothing that's going to blow you away, but 10 appearances, 4 goals was, believe it or not, the best out of some of the top-notch Wonder Kids that we released. So Noah Lang, he has really really starting to make an impression, and who knows, maybe he can make it big in Italy. Growing decently as well, he's on the verge of that 80 overall, still at only 21, so the future and the ceiling is very high for this lad. The attacking winger surrounded by a decent amount of competition, not too much to challenge him, so let's hope he can take that 11 mid spot off Ansaldi once Season 2 kicks off. Another surprising highlight we have to report on in a season of not too many highlights, trust me, we're headed off to Germany for Arminia Bielefeld, and the Dutchmans continue to kill it once they leave Ajax. Brian Brobby, I know they did get relegated, or they're in the relegation playoff, but he actually did play a major part here in the Bundesliga in the top division of German football. The 19-year-old was one of their main protagonists, 37 appearances, 8 goals and 3 assists, in a side finishing in the bottom 3. Those are some legendary stats. Nearly the club's top goal scorer as well, and just a teenager nearly carrying this club to survival is completely immense stuff from the lad, 75 overall, and the Flying Dutchman, the absolute unit, now valued at £11 million. Unfortunately, they couldn't survive the promotion playoff final, and Bochum will be making their way up and replacing Bielefeld. We'll see how Brobby goes in the Bundesliga 2 come Season 2. We're definitely on that trajectory of a slow start because we've arrived back in Italy here with Genoa in our third and final report. It's going to be yet another big and bulky striker, Lessina Traore, the African already claiming the number 10 jersey at Genoa and in Serie A. Okay, I thought he actually performed better than he did. Apparently he hasn't. Still yet to take over the likes of Mattia Destro and Gianluca Scamacca. Even Pandev getting more game time than him. He's faced a similar fate here in Season 1 than a lot of the other Wonder kids, just no game time or minimal at that. Really holding them back and not doing them any justice as we head into Season 2. Season 2 is all but over. Let's hope the lads shaked off their Season 1 nerves, whatever was going on, because a couple of them have hit the 80s, like Ryan Gravenbirch and Mohamed Kudus, now the highest rated player in this batch at an 81. We've got Noah Lang, who's been ripping it up for Torino. We've seen him climb up to the 80s. As we scroll on down, we've got a few new transfers, some brand new signings to report on. Kenneth Taylor has found the club and he has moved to Argentina, the first move to South America, and he'll be playing for the outfit Club Atletico Talleres. We'll see if the Dutchman can find success over there as we move on down to the homegrown talent Daniel Deleu. A smart signing here by Napoli, yet another player headed off to Serie A. As the 18-year-old, he's not the finished product yet, but Napoli could get the best out of him. Doubt he'll get too much game time before he gets better, as we have yet another free agent finding some employment. Alex Prado, the Argentine striker, has been picked up by Real Betis over in Spain, and I believe that is our second Spanish transfer of this video. He joins the Spain club alongside Mohamed Kudus, the only two playing in La Liga, and for the time being, we have two last remaining. The two last standing, it's the Peruvian Ruben Arce and our boy Daniel over here, the Slovenian right back. Hopefully it's not too long before they find their brand new homes, because it's starting to get a little bit depressing. You'd expect Gravenbirch, the gravedigger, to be a main stalwart in this Newcastle midfield. Steve Bruce surely has put him into the starting 11 this year. Him alongside Ludovic Blas could have been a brilliant midfield partnership. Let's see if he did get the game time, and it's just written right there for us. 46 appearances, 14 goals and 8 assists. He could be forging his way into Tyneside history, becoming a Magpies legend. 22 goal contributions for the Dutchman in the Prem. Brilliant numbers there, considering he literally did nothing last season. Apparently those numbers have warranted him to be in bad form. Maybe he just had a little difficult end to the season, finishing smack bang in mid-table. One of Ajax's most coveted youth stars, now valued at £41.5 million, and who knows, maybe a big money transfer is just around the corner. Real Valladolid have survived the top flight here in Spain alongside Real Betis, but they are finishing in 14th, so I don't know what to expect from Kudus. As long as he just got game time like Gravenbirch, he is there to perform, becoming the best player at the club. The Ghanaian is an exciting prospect, and his stats this season read a little similar to Gravenbirch, but he's missing the output, only getting himself 4 goals and 1 assist. 39 appearances though, that is a decent chunk of game time under his belt, dropping an average 5.8 match rating. Therefore, he's in bad form right now, but maybe if he gets transferred to a bigger team and a decent club pick him up, he could really turn those performances into something special, as his current market valuation stands at £35.5 million. You know, it's a tradition in Spain to have a release clause on every goddamn player. He has £83.9 million instated in his contract, so if anyone wants to activate that, go ahead. Well, according to facts and logic, Bielefeld got relegated last season. We've moved on into Season 2, and for some reason they survived, but this time they're definitely going down, finishing in 17th. So second last, did Brian Brobby do as much as he did in Season 1, or did he get found out here with his stats? No, he's actually one-upped himself. He's gotten better, and now with that 2 overall growth, the boost has gotten him up to a 77 with with 37 appearances. He scored 11 goals, 3 assists. Was he the top goal scorer? Yes, he was, getting the golden boot. Now his relegation fate has definitely been confirmed with Bielefeld. Will he be producing the same numbers or even better numbers in the second tier, as he's in excellent form right now? Valued at £21 million on the transfer market, this Dutch striker is definitely making an impression here in Germany. Back over to Italy now as we return to Serie A. Genoa currently finishing in 15th. Did Lassina Traore get any game time in contrast to last season? He's the third best player at the club, and his stats have showcased that he can do it here in Italy. Versing some of the toughest defenses in the world, he scored 9 goals and got himself 3 assists with 39 appearances. He's forming a decent little strike partnership with Mattia Destro, a former career mode wonder kid 10 years older than him. I'll classify that as the breakout season. The African sharpshooter now valued at £11 million on the transfer market. And whilst we're here in Italy, we might as well check in on over to Torino to see how Noah Lang is doing. Is he keeping up these performances for La Granata, as he is now the 4th best player in the team? 23 years of age, he's hit 80, he's gotten 5 more games this season with 15 appearances, but 1 less goal, only scoring 3. If Torino just play him a bit more, maybe they'll get a bit more production out of him, as he's now valued at £26 million. It's also pretty cool to see one of the Timber brothers get promoted and become one of the main protagonists here in the 2nd Division Cologne side. Julian Timber, the centre back, with 35 appearances and 1 goal for the club, definitely helping them on their way back to the top flight, as he's now valued at £14 million. Here is your start of season 3 update. As you can tell, I'm being very selective with what players we're covering, because sometimes in some situations I can just tell players won't be getting game times at their club, like our homegrown talent Delu. He just hasn't got the quality yet to be starting week in week out for Napoli, so I'm just not going to be wasting my time switching clubs just seeing whether he gets 0 appearances or not. Meanwhile, more fictional youth academy players like the Russian Nazar Ivanov at Monaco and Alex Prado definitely didn't get any game time. And our one last free agent, the Slovenian Arnejek. Can someone just hook a brother up? I don't care where he goes. And also with Kenneth Taylor, unless he moves out of South America, which operates on a completely different calendar to Europe, we won't be checking in on him because we're going to be getting false stats. They'll be only a couple games into their season at the end of the European season. With this end of season report, it looks like most of the wonder kids, if not all of them, are just settling in. They're fine to stay at their clubs and battle it out for places, hone in their craft, get better, and slowly work their ways into the starting 11, because no player has made the move. I mean, Milan tried to poach Ryan Gravenbirch from Newcastle, but they weren't having any of it. I wonder how much their bid was, but it wasn't good enough to sell him away, and Newcastle enjoyed him for 1 more season. Let's take a deeper dive and see how the main highlights of this package performed in season 3. And of course, our poor Slovenian, still the one and only player lurking in the free agents for 3 years now. Our first drop in is going to be at St. James's Park. Newcastle again finishing smack bang in the middle, 10th. The epitome of a Premier League staple right now. Let's check in on Gravenbirch's performances this season. Still an exciting prospect at 21. He's the 2nd best outfield player, only behind Alan Saint-Maximin, and his stats this season, we all know AC Milan put in a bid for him, as the Rossoneri were impressed by his 3 goals and 10 assists this season, 44 appearances, but he's getting outperformed goal scoring wise to Sean Longstaff. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief, but 13 goal contributions in the Premier League is decent, not as good as his season 2 numbers. Will he stay another season? I'm not too sure, or will a bid just too good to refuse come in for him, as the Dutch prodigy is now valued at £55.5 million. It feels like deja vu for both Newcastle and Real Valladolid, as they finish in the same position as last season, 14th. Mohamed Kudus playing in that midfield 3 and certified the best player at the Spanish outfit, even better than the captain. In 39 appearances, he managed to find the back of the net 7 times, proving his attack and midfield qualities, and also got himself an assist with 8 goal contributions and the 3rd highest goal scorer. Development wise, he is now boosted up to an 83. Still has that £83 million release clause instated, with a current valuation of £45.5 million. Switching on over to Italy, where Torino gained a 7th place finish in Serie A. Maybe they're following my advice, deploying Lang on the left hand side. We're gonna have to take a look, as he's become the equal 2nd best outfield player now with a crucial first team role. Surely that's gifted him more game time, and there you go. With the extra minutes on the field, he is producing 12 goals and 2 assists in 39 appearances, 14 goal contributions for the Dutchman. Production wise, not as good in numbers as the likes of Sanabria and Palencia are putting up, but hey, they're strikers. Lang's here to dominate the left hand side, attack and cause a threat. I'm sure he's been sending shockwaves down defenders' spine all across the country. In one of the best seasons of his career, he's only been boosted a +1 to 81 overall, and now valued at £30 million on the transfer market. Keeping with the Italian theme, we know we've got 2 wonder kids balling out in Serie A, as La Leicester Traore. Up front with Destro, what could they create this season? The African still repping the number 10 like it's just come naturally to him. And with 39 appearances this season, he scored 6 times and got himself 7 assists. So for the first time, he's actually assisted more than he scored, proving his creativity. As the experienced veteran, his strike partner Mattia Destro has outscored him. I'm sure he's learning a lot of things when it comes to being a clinical striker thanks to that man. As Burkina Faso's finest, the 22-year-old hitman has a market value of 22.5 million. By the looks of things, it could be Brian Brobby's goal-scoring heroics that have sent Bielefeld back up to the Bundesliga, earned them promotion in that second spot, and he is on the borderline of crossing over to the 80 overall, the best player at the club. Yet another number 10 striker showing great potential. His stats this season are reading a little bit like this. With 15 goals, that makes him the top goal scorer, the highest goal scorer, and no matter what league he's in, he's always bagging them into the back of the net. 18 goal contributions thanks to those 3 assists. I'm sure big boy Brian is ready for life back up in the top flight as his market valuation surges to 25.5 million. I think the players that have surprised me the most so far is Brian Brobby, considering he's in a relegation threatened yo-yo side, and Noah Lang, considering we haven't really given him a look in so far. Our homegrown talent who has found his way over at Napoli. How's he doing over here? With a prospect role, he has potential to be special. I can see him definitely slotting into that midfield 3 in the 4-3-3 formation, and it just confirms my suspicions. He hasn't been getting game time as of yet, unless he's going to be shipped out on loan or letting the manager have some faith in him. I don't know whether we'll see the lad reach his full potential. With a valuation of 6.5 million, let's cross our fingers and pray that the Partenopay give him a chance. Visiting France for the first time, we're breaking a lot of these stereotypes here in Season 3. We're going to be checking in on our favorite Russian wonder kid. Where is he? Good old Nazar Ivanov, showing great potential, and like our suspicions confirmed, this is why I haven't been checking in on these guys, because I just know they are not getting any game time out on the pitch, and this sadly just all but confirms it. I'm sure he's loving the tax-free haven of Monaco, but his career just isn't benefiting from it. One of our last pit stops to close this season out, it is going to be Alex Prado, the Argentine striker, and here he is on the loan list. For some reason, he just can't be bothered popping up on the side, but trust me, he is there. No game time whatsoever, as he's got an abundance of striker competition. Look at all these guys, 8 strikers. At 19 years of age, he has still got an abundance left of his career. He's got time on his side. However, he really needs things to pick up if we are going to be looking into his stats season after season. To start Season 4 with a bit of transfer action, we've got Per Schurz, a player who we haven't really been checking up on. He's been gaining some valuable experience out in France for Stade Rennais, and look where he's ended up. It is Leicester City, coming in for the Dutch defender, as the Foxes have landed the former Ajax talent, and our 23-year-old has become the first player to move to the Prem. Is he going to be a regular for Leicester? We're going to have to find out. Otherwise, every single other player has stayed put. Borussia Dortmund have come out with their checkbook, and they have purchased Mohamed Kudus here in January for £68 million. They actually went ahead with the deal in September, but the move hasn't become official until transfer window opened up, and now he's going to be traveling from Spain to Germany to make the move official for BVB. They didn't activate that extortionate release clause, and they had to negotiate with Valladolid. That's an extremely smart signing and pretty realistic. I can see that happening in real life. They just have a knack of finding some beast players, and Mohamed Kudus is definitely not an exception. A player that wasn't reported in the transfer history section because his price tag wasn't big enough, it's Jurriën Timber, who promoted Cologne. He was a main figure in their defense and now has switched allegiances to Union Berlin, a fellow Bundesliga club, who was about to join his fellow youth academy prospect in Genoa, which would have made our job a lot easier, but no, he's accepted the German outfit's offer and is headed to the capital. Their 4th campaign has come to a conclusion, and here are the current power rankings, how they compare stacked up against each other. We have a clear front runner right now, Mohamed Kudus, the Ghanaian who just made his big money move to the Bundesliga, sitting at an 85. Meanwhile, Ryan Gravenbirch, who has still stayed loyal to Newcastle over all these years, 84 rating. Noah Lang about to become a Torino cult hero at an 83 overall, as well as Brian Brobby and Leicester Traore, who have made their way up into the 80s gang. Other than that, no real news to report on, other than Daniel Deleu, the homegrown talent, has actually had some exponential growth, so who knows, maybe Napoli actually played him this year. Big Kudus' first season and his stint here in Germany has ended up a little bit like this. He arrived in January, so at the halfway point, and he couldn't really make his impact, as a young Giovanni Reina is dominating that cam position right now. Maybe he can overtake him in his first official start to a season, but who knows, as the Ghanaian, it looks like he's out of his depth at the moment. Financially skyrocketing to £60 million of valuation. His release clause, I thought the Spaniards were the only ones, but no, BVB has followed the trend in stating a £97.5 million release clause in his contract. For the first time so far in the simulation, Newcastle have actually been in a little bit of trouble, nearly relegated, fighting for their lives. Instead of being comfortable in mid-table, they have suffered. Could that have affected Gravenbirch's campaign? We'll have to have a look. Still at an 84 rating. It hasn't been his best season whatsoever. In 48 appearances, he scored 4 times and got himself 4 assists, so 8 goal contributions. Meanwhile, his midfield partner, Sean Longstaff, with 7 goals and 4. Who knows, maybe he should have taken the move to Milan and packed his bags for Italy, because his valuation now is at £58 million. Still, I think a lot of clubs could be interested in the lad. It might be just time to move on and naturally progress in his career. Keeping things locked here in England, we are moving over to Leicester City, and here in the Midlands, we all know Leicester picked up Pershers, and here is his game time. Actually 0. I can't believe that. Even a player like Fikio Tomori isn't playing, as Josh Knight and Kurt Zuma are getting the bulk of the game time. How's a 73 rated Knight getting in the starting 11? That's what I don't understand. Looks like the defensive department is solid, and Pershers has to put up a masterclass if he wants to get any starting game time, as it's proven to be a hot commodity. From rags to riches, from Ajax's youth academy to proving himself to be a hero in Germany, Brian Brobby has kept Bielefeld alive in the Bundesliga, sitting in 13th, now up to an 81 overall. Just show me those stats this season. I know he's one of their main talismans, and you could say probably at another club, at a better team here in the same division, he could be getting better stats. He's the best out of a bad bunch. No offense to the club whatsoever, but he is their main shining star. They didn't sign him back in season 1, they'd probably be in the 3rd division right now. 11 goals and 2 assists in 35 appearances. He hit double figures in terms of goals, and he found the back of the net quite comfortably. Valued on the transfer market at $34.5 million. I'm surprised no other team is coming in for him, as if he hasn't got clubs knocking on the door wanting his signature, because if he can do it in a poor Bielefeld side, he could do it anywhere. Now let's move over to Napoli, shall we? The south of Italy. Has our homegrown talent gotten game time, or is it just his potential status saving him here and getting him that exponential growth? We'll take a look and see that he's got a new contract. He has now got a sporadic first team role, and he's actually been given some minutes this season. 8 appearances and 1 assist for the Dutch midfielder slash centre back. Where he's being deployed, I'm unaware, but as long as he's getting minutes on the pitch, I don't mind. The 20-year-old just needs that game time, and with a valuation of £12.5 million, he's well on his way. This does not bode well for Lassina Traore's season, as Genoa technically have gotten relegated, finishing second last. Luckily for them, there is no Serie B, and they remain in the top flight. However, Lassina Traore, was he wearing his shooting boots this season? And unfortunately not. With 10 goal contributions, it adds up to 7 goals and 3 assists. A 33-year-old Destro at a 71 overall is still outperforming Lassina Traore, which is pretty worrying for me. Is it time for him to move on? Is he gotten bigger than the club? I don't want to pump his ego too much or get his head too big, but Genoa's number 10, who's been killing it for Le Grifone for a couple seasons now, surely they're about to make their profits. With a £25 million valuation, I'm sure many clubs around the country will be interested. In contrast, moving up north to Torino, they have finished in their famous 7th position again, qualifying for Europa League football, and how much did Noah Lang have to do with that, as he's now one of the best players at the club, alongside Arthur Cabral, the Brazilian striker, and at an 83 overall. His stats this season read a little bit like this. Pretty consistent from the Dutchman, 46 appearances, 13 goals and 6 assists, 19 goal contributions from our boy. He's an Ajax talent at heart, but he's really showcasing that over here in Italy. He's got a bit of competition here with a striker that can also play on the wings, but he's probably just playing up top with Paciencia. Another trademark campaign from him, I must say. He pledges his loyalty to Torino, as his contract's running down next season. Will he make a move, or will a club swoop in, as he's now valued at £36.5 million? And to close the curtain on this season, we're going to be checking in on a player who we haven't yet visited. It's Karel Eiting at Stade Brestois. We're hopping on over to France for the first time. Unfortunately, he's not even in the starting 11, which is quite worrying. Nonetheless, he is 26, about to approach his prime, and was one of the older youth academy wonder kids we released. At a 79 overall, he's been at the club since 2020, and they're actually showing quite a bit of promise with a Perraud, who I believe has moved to Southampton in real life, and Renier Jesus. It's an interesting squad. Good to see that the midfield has been gifted a crucial first team role, getting himself a lot of game time. No goal involvements whatsoever, as he's a bit more of a regista, likes to sit back and control the play. Valued at £18.5 million. I don't see this guy going anywhere. Here is Season 5's update, half a decade into this simulation, and we got to give you some updates. Bear with me here, because I'm about to present to you some of the weirdest batch of transfers you're ever gonna see. It took an unexpected twist. We'll start things off with a pretty irregular signing, a Brian Brobby for Southampton. Such a clever deal. I can't actually find how much they paid for him, but I'm gonna assume near the £50 million range, just to be safe. It looks like Lazio were also competing for his signature. Unfortunately, we're beaten out by the Saints, and there you can see his current valuation standing at £34.5 million, but they've also followed along with the release clause trend, implying a £68.1 million release clause in his contract. The next striker to make a move is Lassina Traore. I said it might be time to get out of Genoa, and it was for both these guys. These moves were bound to happen and need to be done, as Traore finds himself in Spain. I can't really get the price tag yet again because it wasn't big enough to be reported on in transfer history. However, we do know his brand new release clause is valued at £54.4 million. Unfortunately, our boy Arneic, the Slovenian defender, still yet without a club, 5 years, and he's just been lingering on the sidelines. Being a free agent is a tough lifestyle. However, Alex Prado, we checked on him at Real Betis. I don't know what he's done over there or what kind of performances he's got under his belt to warrant Chelsea going after him, but here you go. The Argentine is now moving to the Premier League and joining a fellow bunch of these Ajax wonder kids. Who knows what Roman Abramovich or Thomas Tuchel see in this man, but he is a brand new player for the Blues and is going to be playing his football, hopefully, fingers crossed, at Stamford Bridge. As long as he doesn't become a slave to the Chelsea loan system, he should be good. Right, forget what I said before about all those transfers because, yeah, my game crashed, I didn't save the game, and now we've got to reload it and sim through the summer window again. And we have to report on here a major player who we've predicted to make a move for a while now, Ryan Gravenbirch. Finally departing St. James's Park, he's leaving the Premier League behind him and joining Valencia over in La Liga for £57.8 million. What a pickup. The Dutchman finally gets the big break he deserves. I think he's going to kill it over there. It's really exciting to see one of their best make it over to Spain. We have a change. It's not Southampton picking up Brobby. It is Brentford now, who are currently in the Championship promotion contenders. He's played in the 2nd and 1st Division of Germany. Is he going to be playing in the 2nd and 1st Division of England? Let's find out, as Lassina Traore doesn't make the move to Getafe in this simulation, unfortunately. He remains at Genoa for now, but a move that I didn't expect to be reporting on. We've got our homegrown talent. All the big clubs just seem to be eyeing him up because he's gone from Napoli now to Bayern Munich. Not Bayern Munich 2, the first team. The Bavarians have gone in for him, and who knows, they might give him a chance. Finally, last but not least, the Alex Prado deal still happened. I don't know why, but Chelsea were adamant that that was his destiny. And now, with all that out the way, let's get to the end of Season 5. After a crazy summer transfer window with deals going in left and right, we skip January and we have one last piece of business to report on. The Peruvian archer free agent has finally found a club, and it's Olympique Marseille. Just like Ivanov, he's found a club in France, and there you go. Can he make his name there? He's still only 20 years of age, one of the youngest in this batch. It's going to be fascinating to see how Marseille will treat him, as pretty much everyone else has stayed at their club, but no January moves other than that. I want to prioritize this end of season review on the new boys, and it's a Brobby at Brentford to gain automatic promotion to the Champions League, to the Premier League, gaining 115 points. Surely he was one of the league's top goal scorers, if not Brentford's top goal scorer. He's the best player at the club, reaching an 83 overall at 23 years of age, and his stats read like this. In his best campaign to date, he took the English second tier by storm, finding the back of the net 22 times. With 51 appearances, he also got himself 2 assists. Being the lone striker up top, I really think that is where he thrives. He did it at Bielefeld, and now he's doing it here at Brentford. It's this kind of formation where he plays his best game. Can he do it against the big boys week in, week out? We'll have to find out, as the Bees have gotten themselves one hell of a striker. The Flying Dutchman now valued at £43 million on the transfer market, and my goodness, Premier League defenses ain't ready. Over to Valencia we go now. Gravenbirch's first season here in Spain, and Valencia have gotten up to a 3rd place spot. Couldn't contend for the title, and it doesn't look good because he's not in their starting 11 or their preset team sheet. He's the highest rated player here at the club, and that is going to result in no game time whatsoever. Unless he was injured for the whole year, there is no way a player of his caliber, a player of his quality, deserves no minutes under his belt. That is a violation of the highest order, and for a player valued at £83 million, they spent good money on this guy. Also, instating a release clause in his contract, because, you know, Spain, they love their release clauses, they obsess over them. £126.1 million. The homegrown talent has been exploring some of Europe's best clubs, from Napoli, now at Bayern Munich. Let's see, they've won the title this season. Did he get any minutes on the pitch? Because he had a similar problem at Napoli for the first few seasons. Now he still has potential to be special. At only 21, he's been boosted up to a 78 overall, and no, he didn't get any game time. I would have him rather loan out to the second team, or just being loaned out in general. He joins a long list of youth players that are just not not seeing any time on the pitch. Unfortunately, it's the same old story. Just when Napoli started playing him, the Bavarians had to come in and poach one of the most promising Dutch talents and give him no game time. As the CPU were doing their thing, his valuation now up to £32 million. From one rival to another, from Bavaria to BVB, we keep things in Germany here. The Yellow Wall finishing in second place again to Bayern Munich. I don't think, did Kudus get any game time? We're gonna have to find out because players like Jadon Sancho and Haaland have stayed at the club. Kudus, okay, he did end up getting a bit of time out on the field. In the action that the Ghanaian got 33 appearances, 5 goals and 2 assists. Thanks to the likes of Julian Brandt still killing it at 29 years of age. He's finding it hard to get some game time under his belt in the Bundesliga. Still at only 24, I'm sure he is really far away from his peak because at the moment, his transfer value is up to £70.5 million and he's nearly got a 100 million release clause in his contract, standing at 97.5. Overall, that's a better season here for Kudus at BVB. I'm hoping he can go down in the Signal Iduna Park history books once he finally gets some decent momentum. We're back to revisiting Italy again, and here in Serie A, Genoa finish in their classic 15th, 14th position. We'll take a look at the trusty strike duo of Lassina Traore and Destro. As we go here, okay, they've had pretty much the exact same game time, and still the African is getting outperformed by the 34-year-old Italian. He definitely needs to pick up his game. 9 goals and 5 assists, still good numbers, but I wonder, what if that Getafe move actually went through? Could he be killing it in Spain, or will he have suffered the same fate as Gravenbirch with no appearances? However, now valued at £32 million, the summer transfer window is right around the corner. Would the Grifone be willing to sell one of their crucial assets? Torino have slumped from 7th to 9th place. How has that impacted Noah Lang's season, as he's still going hard here at La Granata, as he has dropped down a position from the best player at the club now to the second best, still at an 83, crucial first team player, and he's getting the game time to prove it. The number 14 with 49 appearances, 15 goals and 11 assists, and I believe that is the first season for him and maybe even the rest of the Wonder Kids in this video to get double figures in both departments. 15 goals and 11 assists, still at only 25. He's approaching his prime. 26 goal contributions here in Serie A, up against some of the best defenses in the world, in good form. Everything this man is doing is touching to gold right now. He signed a brand new contract, and the Bulls have found it necessary to plug in a £62 million release clause, as his transfer market value reads at 36.5 mil. In a Leicester City team that are just jam-packed with the defenders. We've seen them with a lot of centre-backs in the past, and now they've gone out and signed Eric Garcia and Daniele Rugani to compete alongside Per Schurz. He's actually fought off his competition, being one of the main defenders in alongside Tomori and Garcia, all with 46 appearances apiece. He actually scored the most, being a goal threat, finding the back of the net 3 times. What a campaign from the defender, hitting 25 years of age and is now valued at 25.5 million. He's established himself as a key first team player, and it always takes a season or two as they finish in 9th. Now, unless Alex Prado was an emergency signing, there is no way he would have gotten game time this season. I mean, when Werner's not firing on all cylinders and missing chances left, right and center, they have a backup brigade of strikers to deploy. Let's see if the Argentine did anything, and okay, 1 goal and 1 assist in 6 appearances ain't too bad. Most coming in the Premier League as well, so the Argentine establishing himself well here. I'll rate what he's done. Hasn't buckled under pressure, and he's made the switch from Betis to Chelsea seamlessly. Now all he needs is the game time, and boy, he could transform into something special, maybe Chelsea's own Aguero. We're gonna open up season 6 with some controversial drama. For the first time in any of these videos we've done for releasing Youth Academy players, we have never had a player find a club, then find his way back to the free agency again, and that's exactly what's happened here with the Russian Nazar Ivanov. We weren't checking his performances or stats at Monaco whatsoever, but all I know is that he wasn't getting much game time, if any at all. His contract was coming to a close, and Monaco just decided, you know what, you're not worth signing up on a brand new deal, and now he's found his way back where he started, and he's gonna join the likes of Arneic, still trying to find a job. Insane moves there, as we have one summer transfer to report on, and it's Lassina Traore. Now I'm kind of glad that he didn't move to Getafe, because he gets the deal with Leeds United. For £45 million, the English outfit pick him up, and I think he is going to be a brilliant player in the Premier League. His body build is going to suit their type of play. Him and Brobby killing it in the Premier League this season. Now that's something to get excited for. As for the rest of them, it's same old. Couple of them finding their way in the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga. There is a lovely little variety. So let's see what their 6th campaign away from Ajax has to deliver. Season 6 has been wrapped up, and we got some of the same old news, but we've got some big news here, as Nazar Ivanov has found a new club. He departed Monaco, became a free agent again. The whole circle of life happened with this bloke, and now Argentinos Juniors have picked him up. I'm gonna guess and just throw it out there, they're an Argentinian side, so he's moved to South America just like Kenneth Taylor, and the Russian will be getting a brand new experience down there. We've still got the Peruvian archer at Marseille, and Arnaic. Some things just always stay the same. We've got death, taxes, and Daniel Arnaic being a free agent. Moving on up the list, no big transfers to report on here as we climb up through. We have Ryan Gravenbirch taking over Mohamed Kudus. He is now the highest rated player with a £276.2 million release clause. Now, as he is the first wonder kid to reach that £100 million value, he's hit 101. And by the looks of things, Noah Lang might go down as a Torino legend. I'm expecting us to have some big reports to analyze here, so up first is Gravenbirch's Valencia. Okay, again, worrying signs because he isn't involved in the starting 11. Still, Racic and Cruz, the preferred midfield partnership, but how? He's the highest rated player by a country mile. 88 overall, he's in that world-class tier. Okay, finally, I just had a sigh of relief right there as 53 appearances has got himself 3 goals and 2 assists. It looks like they're partnering him up with Uros Racic, the Serbian midfielder in his prime as well, so that would form a pretty deadly midfield combo. 5 goal contributions for the Dutch midfielder with an average match rating of 6.4. He's in good form, and look at how well balanced and well rounded his stats are. At his peak, he's got 97 ball control, 94 stamina, an absolute engine. Unfortunately though, now that the club is actually playing him, they've been plummeted down to 9th. We've got Brentford up next in the Premier League. We thought Brian Brobby's goals could save the Bees in the top flight, but unfortunately they picked up the wooden spoon, finishing rock bottom. How did that affect the striker's performances? He's the best player here at the club, of course, and with 43 appearances, he actually didn't do too bad. 8 goals and 3 assists in one of the toughest leagues in the world, 11 goal contributions, but it wasn't enough to keep the Bees alive, and he wasn't even their top goal scorer. That award goes to Tadic Fosu. Unfortunate CNC tried his luck out in the Premier League. It was always going to be an uphill battle, and they were in a relegation dogfight from the get-go. Now with a value of £47.5 million, will he try and improve his skills in another league and become a striker journeyman? We'll have to find out, but for now though, he's going down. It's been 3 seasons now, so Mohamed Kudus better be putting up some big boy numbers here at BVB. They finished in 2nd to Bayern, so no winning the league or titles for him to claim. However, with a Dortmund side that still got Haaland and Jadon Sancho, surely Kudus has racked up the assists this season, and there you go. It's the Ghanaian midfielder's best yet. He's playing more than Giovanni Reina, forcing him out of position, and with 51 appearances, it's double figures in both departments, which is so satisfying to see. 17 goals and 16 assists. That is 33 goal contributions. Exactly what you would expect from a Cam about to approach his prime. How he's only at an 86 rating, I do not know, because he is in excellent form, and look at those stats. 90s everywhere in the physicals. No maxed out 99 stats, but this man is an absolute monster going forward. Technically gifted on the ball, can set up chances, can create them, can score them himself. Get you a midfielder that can do it all, because Dortmund definitely have one on their hands, as the ex-Ajax midfielder is now valued at £68 million. Now, considering they're right next door to each other, we might as well go and visit Bayern next, and they did end up winning the league. The homegrown talent has some silverware to show for. However, what would happen if he never went to these big clubs and actually built up his career the traditional way? We'll never know, as Daniel Delou, now 22 years of age, has been at the club since 2024 and has a sporadic first team role, so yeah, I doubt he got barely any game time and therefore stunted his growth, stunted his development. It's really set him back from what was looking so promising from the get-go. Has potential to be special. He now has a present day market value of £54 million, but what could have been? Now with an 8th place Leeds playing a 1-striker formation doesn't really fill me with confidence much. That Lassina Traore even played, and you can see here he's one of the best strikers, if not the better striker than Carlos Fernandes. However, that doesn't mean much in terms of the simulation. As you can see, Patrick Bamford still just running that striker position. For years now, he's been their starter, and it's been hard for the ex-Ajax talent to get a run in, as he's now 25 years of age, approaching his prime. He's only gotten 8 appearances this season with 2 goals. We'll see if he can knock the Englishman off his perch come season 7. Torino are coming through with a mid-table 10th finish for the Bulls. It's pretty decent, but Noah Lang probably didn't play much of a part. We'll have to find out. As the best player, did he have his best season? Okay, it's pretty much same as usual. 12 goals, 4 assists, 16 goal contributions in 40 appearances for the Dutchman on the left-hand side. I think they might have just added this season, but here you go, £62 million release clause, and now with a £35.5 million valuation. Is he going to finally depart and change things up a little bit, or is he going to keep the faith and stay here in Turin? And a play transfer I only just realized now that I glossed over earlier was Per Schurz from Leicester City to RB Leipzig. The Dutch defender moving on over to Germany, like so many other of his ex-Youth Academy teammates. And here with this 3 at the back formation, he's only gotten himself 12 appearances, 3 goals though, so he's still proven to be one of the aerial threat defenders from set pieces and corners. I like that move in his career. Not too many defenders or centre-halves are actually on the roster, so he should be getting game time moving ahead into his second season. We got one more campaign left. It's the season finale here in Season 7, and we've got Brian Brobby making another big money move from Brentford. He's had one season, one stint in England, and now he's going to try his luck over in Serie A with AC Milan spending £57.6 million on the 25-year-old hitman. Could he be the perfect fit for the Rossoneri? Because they have not come to play this transfer window. They've been one of the clubs that have spent the most money. Take a look at this. £76.8 million dropped on Tchouameni, and of course their big one, £91.8 million on Ruben Neves. So who knows if he could have bounced back from that season he had at Brentford. Here we go. Daniel Alane gets the prize that no one wants to get in these videos. He stayed a free agent forever. He goes down in the history books alongside Ethan Laird. Unfortunately for the Slovenian, nothing much to report on here. We've got Ruben Arce at Olympique Marseille, still doing bits. Quinton Timber, we haven't really been focusing on him too much considering his brother has gone to bigger and better heights, but he stayed at Odense Bold Club throughout the entirety of this video. Kick Perry's also been chugging along in the background, just doing his thing over at Le Havre FC, and now he's moved over to Moreirense over in Portugal. Nazar Ivanov's had a tipsy-turvy career so far, as the Russian is still at Argentinos Juniors. From a free agent to finding a club, back to being a free agent. He has fought literally all the adversities. Now with Alex Prado, we're going to have to check on his performances at Chelsea, because a £40 million release clause, they definitely do want to make their money back on this guy. Carol Eating is another one of these youth academy players that has stayed at the first club they joined. He has been loyal to the French outfit Stade Brestois. It's good to see him now approaching his 30s, valued at 18.5 million. We've got Lassina Traore still trying his luck at Leeds. Our homegrown talent now given a £126.3 million release clause. Devian Rensch at Cologne. Kenneth Taylor, another one of these one club heroes who have just stuck with their teams, haven't become journeymen. And here you go, just when we start talking about journeymen, we've got Jurian Timber, who has climbed up the ranks throughout Germany's footballing tiers and now finds himself at RCD Espanyol. A very big transfer going down right there, and his fellow countryman Per Schurz, who just made the move to RB Leipzig last season, has stuck to his guns and has played Season 7 in the Bundesliga. We've got Noah Lang, of course, a legend in the Torino history books, Brobby, who just made the move to Milan, and then the two big boys. We've gotten a player to win 90 overall, and that, of course, is Ryan Gravenbirch, one of the most promising Dutch youngsters or Ajax Academy players in current day, and it looks like he's going to go on to fulfill his potential, still only at 25. The Spanish club obviously rate him very highly with that release clause, and Mohamed Kudus, I was kind of expecting him to surpass his potential of 86. It's been a pleasure following their careers. Now let's give the big boys one last check to see how their performances went. Here we go for Chelsea that finished in second. Alex Prado, surely he didn't get any game time. The Argentine becoming a backup choice, a super sub in off the bench, and he didn't get any appearances whatsoever, getting beaten out by maybe an Ibrahimovic regen right there. The Swede Danielson taking over, and he's got nothing to report on this season. He can't go out on a bang. Gravenbirch gets one last hurrah here with Valencia, almost firing them back to Champions League football, finishing in 5th. However, how did his performances go this season? The 90 rated baller, one of the world's best, and is an absolute tank in his position. He replaced the 37-year-old Cruz in midfield and got himself 47 appearances, 14 goal contributions, numbers not as high and production-wise as his partner, Uros Racic, in the midfield. Unfortunately, his world-class qualities haven't helped him in terms of the production department, but I'm sure he's mastered his game off the ball as well. He's just got so many facets and dimension to his game. He still hasn't hit his peak, and you can argue he's been one of the most successful academy players we've released in this video, now valued at 118.5 million. Milan's brand new signing, Brian Brobby, is the new boy in town at the San Siro, as he's gifted one of the crucial first team roles. He hasn't really had the appearances or game time to follow suit. 6 games and 2 goals. In comparison to his main striker competition, Abril Imbolo, with 51 games, 21 goals and 1 assist. He's getting outplayed and outclassed by a man 2 ratings lower than him. Unfortunately, that's the price you have to pay in the one-man formation, as Big Brian finishes this video with a £54.4 million valuation. Check it up on a big boy striker one last time with a 12th placed Leeds. Let's see if Patrick Bamford got knocked off his perch. As you can see here, Lassina Traore, an important first team member, and he only got himself 10 appearances, not even scoring a goal this season. That is a first, and 1 assist for the now 26-year-old African, as Patrick Bamford continues to be the manager's favourite. He's just like a teacher's pet. Unfortunately, Traore can't see a look in, and considering there's only 2 strikers, he's been a super sub this season, nothing but a backup, and he couldn't properly make his impact and reach his full potential. Now with a market valuation of £30.5 million, He follows in the footsteps of a lot of wonder kids in this video, just not getting the game time they deserve. Let's see if Mohamed Kudus could have kept up that season 6 momentum and that consistency, basically. Unfortunately, he's had a fellow competitor, Giovanni Reina, equal him in terms of overall, and is probably going to pass him soon, as his stats this season read a little bit like this: 18 goals and 5 assists in 47 appearances. The game time he's getting is stupendous, and he's really showcasing what he can do in front of goal, finding the back of the net 18 times. I'm surprised that he only got himself 5 assists, but 23 goal contributions is a brilliant way to see out this video. With excellent form, some of his attributes are just out of this world. So many dark greens to feast your eyes upon, and now ending off with a value of £67 million. And just because why not, let's take one last glance at the homegrown talent to see if he got any minutes on the pitch this season. I highly doubt it. Daniel Deleu, with back-to-back seasons of donuts all across the board. At least he got up to an 83, respectable, still at only 23. I'm sure his career could be revived. We're probably going to be here all day, but I don't want to be here all day, as he showcased his worth. £68.5 million is what he's valued at, and Bayern have slapped that gargantuan release clause. They even know what he's capable of, but they just don't want to risk him in the starting 11. Now, I'm sure Noah Lang and all the other loyal wonder kids have captured the hearts of fans of the club, and of course the winger is no exception, as he has still remained one of the best players at the club, if not the best on the roster. He's made a decent career for himself so far here in Serie A, as he's gotten himself 40 appearances, a mainstay in the team. And again, it's another classic consistent Noah Lang season: 13 goals and 2 assists, 15 goal contributions from the now 27-year-old who has reached his peak, and he's in excellent form. A value of 35 million, Torino really made a brilliant signing, and one that has paid off in the long term. There we have it. That is going to bring to a close the Releasing Ajax entire youth academy video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this installment of this series, and let me know what other clubs you want to see this done with down in the comments below before FIFA 22. We've seen so many storylines unfold, wonder kids to make careers of themselves. Some careers got ruined, some careers took unexpected twists and turns, and unfortunately there's always got to be one that just remains a free agent throughout the entirety of the video. Let me know down in the comments as well, who was your favorite wonder kid? Who do you think was benefited the most from getting released at Ajax? Let me know. As always, if you went on to enjoy the video, drop it a big fat like below, hit subscribe if you're new around here, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all my socials linked in the description. As always, I've been Sir BCHD. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.